Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out, episode 143. Hope you're all doing okay out there, despite these most unusual times, to say the least. This is week 7 of self-isolation for our family starting Monday. Aside from getting groceries for our family and my parents who are in a condo, we haven't done anything else, obviously, like most of you listening. And it's really weird, but getting used to it, I guess, and trying to stay productive, writing articles and, of course, hosting Tech It Out and doing a lot of TV interviews over Skype, which has been fun, but just feeling like I really want to go out and go to a restaurant and go to a concert and go to, a hockey game or something. Anyhow, most importantly, I hope you're all healthy and your loved ones are as well, and we shall get through this. As we've done over the past month or so on Tech It Out, we'll be exploring several tech angles to the COVID-19 crisis. We have 5 segments this hour. They're all different. First, we're going to chat with Pinterest about how Americans are using the popular platform during the pandemic. After that, we'll learn about SureCall. It's a wireless booster for your home cellular connection, so you can better work from home. And they have one for the car as well. Intel will join us to chat with us about their huge donation of $50 million to fighting COVID-19 and where those funds are going exactly and why. Sirona TV will join us, Sirona.tv. It's a box that turns a regular TV into a smart TV, but for seniors. So we'll learn how they can stay in touch during self-isolation and a lot more. I'm also going to share some great gear ideas for those working from home. All of this and more on this week's Tech It Out. All right, let's kick off the show. As you might expect, when most of the country has been mandated to stay at home, we're turning to social media to stay connected, informed, and entertained. And Pinterest, a very popular platform that encourages its users to pin content to a giant virtual canvas, if you will, they've recently added a few timely features tied to helping us all get through the COVID-19 pandemic. Joining us to explain, we've got Erin Ellefson on the line. She's a country manager for Pinterest. Welcome to the program, Erin. How are you?
I am excellent. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Likewise. Thanks for carving out some time to spend with us. Before we talk about COVID, tell us a bit about Pinterest for those who haven't yet used the platform.
So the purpose of Pinterest, our mission, is to bring everybody the inspiration to create a life that they really love. And so what that actually means is that everybody has this very basic need to be inspired. And the best way to be inspired is actually to discover things visually and see pictures. So Pinterest is really an online experience that helps you see, pictures and other types of videos and ideas that really enriches your offline life. And what makes it a little bit different from a lot of the technology platforms people may use right now is that it's not really inherently social media. It's not a place where you go to follow celebrities or friends. It's actually really very personal. It's a personal media space where you really, really get to relax and take some time to really focus on the things that matter to you, the things that really inspire you as a unique individual.
Okay, I got it. And I called earlier the content that you would post to Pinterest or experience on Pinterest is a pin, P-I-N. Is that right?
Yes, that's a correct term. If you imagine a physical bulletin board, back when that was all we had, people might cut out pictures in a magazine and pin it to the board. That's really what Pinterest is in an online context.
And to what do you attribute Pinterest's success? I mean, it's really taken off over the last few years.
Yeah, it's really amazing. More than 335 million people around the world come to Pinterest to be inspired. And this really is a compelling place for them for a couple of reasons. One of them, as I said, it's very personal space. It's a very positive space. Because you're not, having to consume a lot of news and get involved in a lot of social comparisons. 91% of pinners say that Pinterest is a place that makes them feel positive and inspires them and gives them ideas for their life. And that's actually pretty unique. And that's why we've seen Pinterest engagement actually really go up, especially right now, as people look to be inspired more than ever as they stay inside.
Yeah, no doubt. Can you quantify that, Erin? How much has Pinterest user base grown, or the number of pins that people are consuming or posting?
It's really interesting. Pinterest has been hitting all-time highs in engagement over the past several weeks. Just last week, actually, searches were up 60% year over year, which is a really huge number, with new signups and saves also up about 30% each. So these are pretty significant data points relative to how many people are turning to Pinterest at this critical moment.
Right. And what are people looking at the most, do you think? I know you used the word inspiration a few times.
Well, inspiration can mean a lot of different things. I'm a mother of three who's not very good at cooking and doing some of the things that are my daily reality now. And so inspiration can mean for many people, how do I get through the day? Searches for working from home are up 3x. I just talked about my fear related to a kid walking in right now. People thinking about, how do they set up their home offices? 43% increase in searches for home organization. And so inspiration can really be about the day to day, the week to week. But what's probably been really fascinating and maybe not entirely surprising is that just more recently, in the past several days, we've seen people shift their behavior a bit, kind of get used to their new normal at home and finding ways to cope and adjust, and start to want to be inspired about the future in new and different ways, which, for me, actually means even though I don't know when my next vacation is going to be, I want to start to envision what it might be without even knowing a date, because that makes me feel happy and positive at a time that's pretty otherwise very challenging.
Yeah, great point. We're joined by Erin Ellefson, a country manager for Pinterest. We've got her on the line to chat about Pinterest, sort of Pinterest 101, as well as its recent growth, as you might expect, and of course, how people are embracing the platform during the COVID-19 crisis. I would expect, as I touched on earlier, craft ideas for the kids would be top of mind. In fact, I wrote an article for USA Today last week, shameless plug, on ways to use your computer printer to print out coloring pages and origami shapes, as well as things like connect the dots and even fridge magnets of family photos and things like that.
Absolutely. People have never had more glorious time with their kids right now.
That's one word for it.
Yeah. And people are definitely looking to Pinterest to figure out how to occupy them. And in many cases, there was a gap between the schools being closed and then reopening online. And so many people were trying to figure out, what do I do with the stuff I have in my cupboard right now? And in fact, just recently, I discovered that you could melt chocolate and put pretzels on top of the chocolate and create pretzel butterflies. You may want to try this one yourself.
I like that.
And I am not a crafty person.
How ironic, really.
Really. But there's a need to keep everybody feeling positive, including our children, and for them to feel some silver lining at a time where their lives have changed pretty significantly too.
Speaking of feeling positive, before we talk about Pinterest Today tab, which is something I wanted to ask you about, what about mental wellness related content? That must be up as well.
Yeah. So as I mentioned at the beginning, Pinterest really helps people feel better and stay inspired. They don't compare themselves to others. They don't read a lot of alarmist headlines. They go there to think about how to enrich their lives. And because of that, it's a positive corner on the internet. And more than 91% of people who use it say it's a really positive space.
Right.
So this behavior was true before. And now as we deal with this crisis, we are seeing people search in increasing volumes around, for things like stress relief, calming quotes. And actually, when they do that, we actually have a feature called compassionate search, which we already had, where when you search for things that indicate that perhaps you're feeling anxiety and stress, we actually try to launch, emotional well-being content so that there's things you can action right in that moment from emotional health experts. So it was already a positive space, and now it's becoming, by necessity, a different type of space for people to go and think different kinds of thoughts.
And let's end off on Today tab, which is a new Pinterest feature. It's, as you said, it's a daily source of inspiration with curated topics, I understand, and pins that are trending. Can you elaborate a bit?
Yeah, so we had actually already been working on the Today tab, which was a more curated place to see content that'll really help you with what's happening in your environment today. And we fast-tracked that so it was ready because so many people were suddenly finding themselves in a totally different environment at home, at work, homeschooling, cooking, worried about what's happening, needing data from official health sources. And so we launched that. And what it really is just a curation of very, very relevant topics for your life today that might be different than what you would have that different from your home feed, which is more of a representation of life before all of this happened.
As my wife says, BC, before coronavirus. Erin Ellefson, thanks so much for your time. Wishing you well during these challenging times. And congratulations on the growth of Pinterest, and I'm wishing you continued success.
Absolutely, and hoping everyone stays safe.
You're listening to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS. I'll tell you more about them after the break. We're going to learn about cellular boosters. We'll be right back.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. This show is powered by ASUS, for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, including its line of award-winning laptops, desktops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. With most of us now working from home, you probably realize that it's not just your internet connection that might have needed a boost, but perhaps also your cell phone signal isn't good enough to conduct business. It can be embarrassing to be on a call and to be cutting in and out, or a dropped call altogether. And so we're going to talk signal boosters now with a company called SureCall. Joining us on the line to chat is Frankie Smith, Vice President of Sales at SureCall. Thanks for your time, Frankie.
Yeah, Mark, thanks for having me.
You're based in Atlanta, right?
I am.
Hotlanta.
It is. Hotlanta today.
Thank you so much for your time. Now, before we talk about your products, please tell us a bit about SureCall.
Sure. So we're a leading manufacturer of cell phone signal boosters to help people stay connected in their homes, in buildings, and while they're going in their vehicles. The company was founded in 2001 and based in the Silicon Valley area, where we do a lot of the assembly of the products. We've been on the list of the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies for 4 years in a row, and won multiple awards for product innovation and hold a number of patents in the signal booster industry.
So what would you say then, Frankie, makes SureCall stand out among the pack? Obviously, there's other signal booster companies out there. What were your patents awarded for, or what do you think is your key differentiator when it comes to your products?
Sure. Well, certainly innovation. And one of the patents that we have is a boost. We had the first booster that was compatible with all carrier signal, the first true 5-band cell phone signal booster. So something we're very proud about that launched 6 years ago. So that heart of innovation and dedication to providing and producing the best performing products, the most powerful amplifiers and the most powerful boosters that meet the FCC limits, right? Because we want to make sure that when people have our booster that they're enjoying it, right? They are going to get the benefits out of it, that they're going to have good, solid coverage. They're not going to drop and miss phone calls, and they're going to have far better data streaming over cellular.
Okay. Why don't we start off with one for the home, which might be quite popular now that many of us are self-isolating and perhaps working from home. Let's talk about what your most popular model is right now.
Yeah, so we have a couple really popular models. The Flare, SureCall Flare 3.0 is a very popular model. As I mentioned, it's compatible with all the carrier signals. It helps bring signal from the outside inside. so you can enjoy your mobile devices without being interrupted due to weak cell phone signal. So whether you have a basement, you're working out of your basement now, or you've turned your dining room into your new office, we can bring cellular signal inside of those places to make sure that you can stay connected and ensure that you're being the most productive you can be.
And without getting too technical, how does it work exactly? Like, how do you set it up and what makes it amplify your cellular connection?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is an antenna that would go outside or in your attic that's actually capturing the signal from the cell tower.
Okay.
Bringing it in through a cable that goes into an amplifier that's amplifying that signal and then pushing that signal out throughout your home. So it's very transparent to the network. So your phone just sees their cell phone signal coming in. So I'm able to communicate. And so it boosts signal coming to your device and also boosts signal going back out to the tower to make sure you have a strong, reliable connection.
I don't know if you're talking on your cell phone right now, Frankie, but your call is really clear. So it sounds like it's working pretty well.
Yes.
So it's called the Flare 3.0. How much does it cost?
The Flare 3.0 is $379 in the U.S. It lines up perfectly with a lot of the cottage season. People are also teleworking now all over the place. So it's a good time to try to help people save some money as they need to work from home and go up to their second houses.
Is it hard to set up?
No, it's not too hard to set up. I mean, there is an antenna that, again, goes in your attic or outside and a thin cable that runs inside. Most of it's a fairly simple task for most of your DIYers. If a handyman's required, that, in some cases that may be as well. But I'd say the vast majority of people that purchase a product, it's a DIY job on a weekend.
Got it. All right. We're chatting with Frankie Smith, VP of Sales at SureCall. They're the makers of various cellular boosters. We just heard about one for the home. Now let's talk about one for the car. May not be as relevant today, but truck drivers and others may still, that's an essential service. They're still working, thankfully. So how could they ensure a better quality cell phone connection?
Yeah. So for the automobile, same type of scenario where you're driving in long country spaces or you're in areas where you constantly drop calls. The Fusion to Go 3.0 works much in the same way, where there's an antenna capturing signal coming into your vehicle with an amplifier and then boosting that signal throughout your vehicle. That's a multi-user device. And then we also have one, the N-Range 2.0, that's a single-user device where the inside antenna is actually in a dockable cradle. So your phone sits in the cradle, and it's being amplified by the signal by the antenna that's inside that cradle for single use. So the Fusion to Go 3.0 is for the multi-user vehicle, and the N-Range 2.0 is for the single use inside of a vehicle. Fusion to Go 3.0, its inside antenna is a patch antenna designed to go on your dash or on the side of your seat, and it'll boost the signal inside, the front bed of your car, front part of your car. So you don't have to have the phone right next to it. Whereas the N-Range 2.0, it's a little less powerful amplifier, but the antenna is inside of a cradle. So as long as your phone is sitting inside that cradle, it'll get a boost. So that's why it's single user.
And how much do these two models cost?
The Fusion to Go 3.0 is $399 and the N-Range is $199 in the US.
Okay. And then finally, the best website to learn more about SureCall or where to buy it online?
Yeah, in the States, you can go to SureCall.com, and in Canada, you can go to SureCallBoosters.ca.
Okay, SureCall.com or SureCallBoosters.ca, and you can order it from there as well, not just read up on the different models?
That's right, exactly.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Frankie Smith, VP of Sales at SureCall. Appreciate your time. Stay healthy.
You too, Mark. Thank you.
Hey, if you're on social media, such as Twitter, feel free to follow me for my daily tech tip of the day. I'm at Mark_Saltzman. That's Mark with a C _SALTZMAN. We'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
To help us get through this global pandemic, many individual philanthropists and large companies are digging deep to fund various COVID-19 initiatives. And one of my favorite tech brands really stepped up to the plate with a $50 million initiative. The company is Intel. And so I wanted to invite Intel onto the show to share the what, why, how, and when of this generous pledge. And on the line, we've got Rick Echevarria, who's helping to lead this effort. Rick is Vice President of Sales and Marketing Group and General Manager of the Intel Olympic Program. Welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Likewise. All right, let's dive right in. Please tell us about Intel's ambitious COVID-19 combat initiative.
Yes, what we call the Pandemic Response Technology Initiative. It's Intel's latest effort and contribution to help the world as best as we can address this global pandemic, which is having, such big implications to all of us in the world at large. This is incremental, Mark, to previous efforts that the company has led that includes a number of relief efforts, donations, employee benefits, and this is incremental to that. And the strategy behind this effort is to really bring together our customers, our partners, our employees, our expertise, and our scale behind three major programs underneath this initiative. The first of these is what we call the Response and Readiness Program. And that program is focused on helping make the necessary investments and provide access to technology at the point of care to speed scientific research and to help with other types of solutions, including monitoring type of solutions, telehealth, et cetera. The second program as part of this initiative is around online learning and helping provide access to those who really need access to technology. Those are most in need. And then the third element of the program is an innovation fund that's really intended to enable us to partner, again, across the broad ecosystem to accelerate the development and the deployment of solutions that can address different challenges brought in by this COVID-19 pandemic.
Has this rolled out already, or are you doing this incrementally?
This is incremental investment from the company, and we have already put this initiative into work, into action. And there are a number of solutions that, as part of our announcement last week, we described. And I'll keep it at a high level, Mark, and free to ask questions in detail. But I want to highlight at least three of the solutions that we highlighted last week. We highlighted our work with the Medical Informatics Corporation. They have a platform called SickBay that uses our technology and is a solution that's intended to solve two problems: bring greater scale to the delivery of care while enabling better protection for those who are providing care. So that's one of the solutions that we included in our announcement last week. The second is work that we're doing in India with the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, as well as with their Institute of Information Technology. And this is to develop a number of solutions to achieve faster and less expensive COVID-19 testing, as well as to accelerate coronavirus genome sequencing so we can understand and work with India and the entities there to understand how to do better risk management. That we also announced a collaboration in the UK with Dyson to supply our technology for a new ventilator design that was specifically designed in response to the UK's government response for help. And over the coming weeks, we will continue to invest and we will continue to share the progress we're making partnering with these and many other companies and partners around the world.
Fantastic. We're chatting with Rick Echeverria. He's helping to lead Intel's efforts to donate $50 million towards fighting COVID-19, the global pandemic. Before we shift gears, because I do want to talk to you about computer-related topics that are very relevant today with our work-from-home trend that we've been seeing, where can we learn more about Intel's donation and the breakdown of this huge investment?
We welcome the audience to go to intel.com, and in our newsroom, our external presence, we have information on our support in this global fight.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So it is true that many employees and students are now working on a computer at home to, most of the country, I know in the States, 95% of the entire population has been mandated to stay at home, similar numbers in Canada. So for those looking to buy something, what advice do you give? And, it would be remiss not to ask someone who works from Intel a question like this, but what specs would you recommend to future-proof your investment, to make sure that the computer that you buy today is still going to be relevant in a couple of years from now?
That's a good question, Mark. And I think we're all seeing that as part of this work from home dynamic, there are a number of things that seem to be very important as we're all experiencing this, right? I think performance, as we are using multiple collaboration tools, becomes very, very important. And then other aspects of the design of a computer that maybe we did not pay as much attention to, well integrated and high quality cameras, speakers, and microphone interfaces are all part of what I think it's become our way of working today. And so those are all considerations for the audience, right? Look for, latest and greatest in performance, because this may become not just a trend, but the way we work moving forward. And I think we're all learning how important it is to have that ability to multitask, that ability to collaborate, that ability to deliver a higher quality presence online as you're using your cameras and as you're trying to get people to really hear you and understand you, the value of a well-integrated design with the latest and greatest performance and peripherals. I think they're all very important.
That's a great point, Rick. We probably underestimated the significance of a webcam until recently, with video conference calls being the norm for people working with their colleagues remotely, to online classrooms and distance learning, even to socializing. When you have some fun with your friends after you work or at school during the day, at night, you may want to get together with your family and friends. We're even using video cameras for church services and other religious ceremonies, and yoga and fitness classes and so on. So that's a good point. And of course, I really like how modern PCs are super thin and light, which makes it easier to carry around the home, and also versatile. Many of them have touch screens and are convertibles or 2-in-1s where you can bend the screen back or detach it all together. I love the versatility of today's devices with Intel inside. Rick Echeverria, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on this huge pledge to help fight the COVID-19 crisis. Intel.com for our listeners to learn more. And thank you again. Thanks for talking with us. All the best.
Thank you, Mark.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS, the company that creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. That includes its award-winning ZenBooks and VivoBooks, Chromebooks, and business-grade expert books as well. Love it. asus.com/US/radio for more info. Now more than ever before, because of self-isolation, seniors, especially those aged 75 and older, could really benefit from an easy and cost-effective way to stay connected with loved ones. And that includes video calling. And so we're going to hear now about a new product called Sirona.tv that works with your existing television. Joining us on the line to chat is Sanjay Chadha. He's the CEO of a company called Safety Labs. Welcome to the show, Sanjay.
Thank you, Mark.
So why don't we dive right in? What is Sirona.tv all about?
Sirona.tv, as you just mentioned, helps seniors 75 plus to stay in touch with family, friends through the phone calls and video calls using their TV. So we made it very simple. What we did is we brought tablet and smartphone-like features to a senior's TV. So now seniors can use their TV to share family albums, play games, maintain their contacts, check weather. And not only that, we have a built-in voice companion called Sirona, which is just very much like Alexa, Amazon's Alexa, but for seniors. Sirona is a true companion. It cares for seniors' health. It helps them nudge and advise them in health matters and plays music for them and helps them check weather. So that is what Sirona TV is.
All right. So it's a device, like a piece of hardware that you connect to your existing television. And I'm assuming it has a camera and a microphone. So you can use your voice to interact with it. And then the camera is for video calling. And it also offers things like games and news and other smart TV-like elements to your regular television, correct?
That is absolutely right. So it in some way looks like Apple TV, but created with seniors in mind.
And what does that mean exactly? How are you tailoring this to that demographic specifically?
So we made it easy for people to use, and we brought in features which we believe seniors will benefit from. So a lot of seniors, as they age over 75, 80, and when they reach 85, they have difficulty using smartphones. But they still want to be able to check their family album, maybe even talk to their grandkids. So what we did is we brought those kind of features right on their TV with a box which connects to an HDMI cable to any existing TV.
So you use your voice to call up the personal assistant, and you can say something like, show me new photos, or make a call to the grandkids, that kind of thing?
Yes, absolutely. So for dexterity or for interface, we added two things. One is we provide a very simple Apple TV remote control, type remote control. So people can use a very simple remote control because it's not always comfortable talking, but you can also command Sirona to do actions. Just like, hey, play Elton John for me, so it will play Elton John for you.
And what music service would that be coming from, for example, if you asked to play music?
So we actually license it from the players, other music players license from. So we have a license from BMI kind of organizations.
Okay. So Sanjay, how would Sirona.tv differ from something like Facebook Portal, which can also be connected to a TV to make free calls over Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, and it has built-in Alexa as well. So is this like a similar kind of product? I think maybe some of our listeners know about Facebook Portal.
It is in some ways similar, but it is targeted only for seniors. It actually can not only make calls between members of Facebook, but it actually can make calls on a regular phone. So if you have a daughter who's traveling or a son who's driving around in the shopping center, you can actually call her on her cell phone, and she can actually text you. So that's how it's not only between the network, so anybody can join in with existing phones and text messaging.
So what video platform would it be, for example, if you did make a video call to, say, your daughter or grandson? What do they need on their end?
They would need our app on. For a video call, they would need our app. But to receive phone calls, it's just about just using a phone number.
We're chatting with Sanjay Chadha. He is the CEO of Safety Labs. They have a new product in the market called Sirona.tv. It's aimed at seniors age 75 and older. It turns a regular TV into a smart TV of sorts. Sanjay, I said in the introduction that especially now, as many of us have been practicing social and physical distancing, that a product like this could be useful in reaching out. How do you think the COVID-19 crisis could make this product even more relevant than any other time?
So COVID-19, as we all know, has been deadliest for our seniors. And, for that reason, because of the low immunity, seniors are recommended to maintain social distance. And not only that, even isolate themselves. But isolation of seniors causes two major issues. One is that seniors need to be monitored, their health needs to be monitored on a regular basis. That becomes more difficult now. And the second one is the social disconnection puts older adults at a greater risk of depression and anxiety. So those are the two problems which Sirona.tv solves. One is that our built-in monitoring of health enables us to collect their vitals, like their temperature, blood pressure, and now doctors can remotely talk to them and check their health, so they don't have to come in the physical social distances.
All right. And then finally, how much does Sirona.tv cost?
So the kit, which comes with everything to get started, is $149. And then there's a monthly fee of $14.95. You can actually buy it right now for $129. That's our introductory price at Sirona.tv.
Okay. And then the website again is Sirona.tv. That's SIRONA.tv. Is that based on the goddess?
Yes, that is. Goddess of health.
There you go. I love it. All right, Sanjay, thank you very much. Good luck with this product and stay safe out there.
Thank you, Mark.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
So as I mentioned earlier in the show, I was on TV last week talking about essential gear for working from home. As someone who has been working from home for the last quarter of a century, gosh, that sounds like a long time, I thought I would talk about some tips, which I'll get to in a moment, to really sort of maximizing the situation, optimizing your work from home experience. And before that, I thought I'd talk about some gear that I know I got email about because I showed it on TV on several stations across the country on Thursday. So I thought I'd share a bit with you now and answer some of the questions that I received. I showed a couple of devices from HP. The first one was a laptop called the Elite Dragonfly. It's an ultralight convertible business laptop. So it converts from a laptop to a tablet by bending back the screen on its 360-degree hinge. It's just over 2 pounds. So as I mentioned, really, really light. And I love the Dragonfly blue finish on this laptop. And there's tons of security. In fact, it's the first laptop in the world with built-in tile support. So if you misplace the laptop, you just open up the Tile app on your smartphone to locate it. Love that. It also has a webcam privacy shutter, so you can kill the power to the camera when you're not using it for video chats for extra privacy. There's HP noise cancellation for clearer calls over audio and video. And 80% of all the mechanical parts of this laptop were made from recycled materials. Love that. Prices start at $1659 for the HP Elite Dragonfly. I also showed an all-in-one laser printer called the Never Stop from HP. So it's a fast and reliable printer that's also a scanner and copier. I did say it's an all-in-one. But it's called the Never Stop because it seems like this printer never stops printing. It's got up to 5,000 pages out of the box, believe it or not. And reloads are only $16 for another up to 2,500 pages. And again, that's all in HP print quality. So that's less than a penny per page. It starts at $279 for the Never Stop laser printer. And I also kind of like the way it looks with its white finish. I think it would look really cool in any sort of home office. And then I showed and talked about Ooma Connect. So this is a real game changer for SMBs, small and medium-sized businesses. It's a fast wireless internet connection and a cloud-based phone service in one. And again, it's affordable and reliable. You know, about 2 million businesses in the US have poor internet service. So Ooma Connect is a wireless alternative for fast internet and a super clear and feature-rich phone service that Ooma is best known for, all in one. Again, that phone service is internet, so it's VoIP or voice over internet protocol, but super clear, and again, all those features that you want out of a business grade phone system. You can buy it outright for $5.99 or rent it for $30 a month. And then after that, the Ooma Connect system is just $50 a month for the service itself. And that's, I believe, for 6 employees. And then you just add on from there. But really good bang for your buck for both wireless internet that uses cellular connectivity, actually, as well as a cloud-based phone system. Finally, let me get to those tech tips to working from home successfully, where you can not just survive, but thrive in this work from home environment. Again, leveraging all my years of experience for what it's worth. This is a purely subjective bit of advice. But number one is to try to segregate your professional life from your personal life. If you can, get to a quiet nook in your home. If possible, maybe there's an area where there's a door where it could be closed, and then minimizing any distractions like the TV or the kitchen, you know, that fridge is calling you. And also minimizing noise. If you're on a group video conference call, it can be embarrassing if you hear pets barking in the background or kids crying or what have you. So as best as you can, try to separate your professional and personal life. It's not always easy. I'm the first to admit that. But the better you can do that, the more focused you'll be. Then when you are working, make sure it's a comfortable environment. Have a desk or a table. Try not to lean back in bed and work on your laptop. Ergonomically, that's not the best idea because it could have some wear and tear on your body if it's an awkward position or lying back on a sofa or couch. Try to sit up straight with your feet on the floor with a comfortable chair with good lower back support, and have adequate lighting as well. You don't want any eye strain. And also when you're making a video call, you want to be seen, not just heard, but seen clearly as well. So look, it's not rocket science. If you talk on the phone a lot, use a hands-free headset or even AirPods or whatever wireless earbuds you want, or regular earbuds, just so you're not trying to hold the phone between your head and your shoulder while typing on a keyboard at the same time. Again, not great on your body. So keep that in mind. And then finally, people ask me, do you dress up for work? Well, I don't technically wear anything fancy. Unless I'm doing some TV interviews, I'll wear a button down or sometimes like a blazer on top of a t-shirt, a nice t-shirt or something. But otherwise, wear what's comfortable for you. Some experts say you should dress for success. Don't wear, track pants and a dirty t-shirt, but that's entirely up to you. However you best work is what you should wear. And also for scheduling, some experts say you should wake up in the morning and start fresh. But if you are more productive at night after the kids go to sleep, if you've got them, then do what works best for you. There's no right or wrong. It's really not a one-size-fits-all scenario, but I'm sure you'll do just fine working from home. And you can send me a note if you want to, tech@marksaltzman.com if you've got any questions. That's TECH@MARCSALTZMAN.com. And for more info on these products, you can go to killerapps.com. Hey, thank you all for tuning in to Tech It Out, and a huge thank you to ASUS, the title sponsor on this program. Stay healthy, everyone. Please stay indoors, and I look forward to speaking with you next weekend on Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.